is the man when it comes to creating really cool terrariums.
This is probably the most important component of the entire build, the substrate.
This will be a bioactive setup.
No matter what project I do, I always give 1000%.
This is going to be really fun. Oh my God, they're beautiful.
Our animal mission is simple. Education in action, conservation in action. This is Kamp Kenan.
What's going on, everyone? Ken here, and I'm here with Serpa, and this gentleman is very talented, and we are at Aqualand, if you can't tell. We're up here in St. Charles, and today I want to learn from Tanner, because Tanner is the man when it comes to creating really cool terrariums and bioactive setups, and we just met last night, so that's really cool because I'm a fan of what he does. And so many of you guys ask, how can I make my animals' lives better? You know, you might live up north. Tanner is from just outside of Pittsburgh, so you're no stranger to winter. What have you been charged with doing here, man?
Okay, so Greg invited me to Aqualand and to sweeten the pot. He sent me a video of this tank when it was set up previously. He's like, I want you to redo this 500-gallon aquarium. It's 10 feet long for his Chinese water dragons. And he pretty much gave me creative freedom of the stuff. So I went out yesterday. I was getting all the supplies. I drove down here.
Show me some of the ingredients, man. Because you are like a kid in a candy store, because Aquascape has a lot of amazing supplies themselves, but you went out and you got some unique pieces to create this habitat.
Yeah, Greg had the hookup with some people who used to work with him. So I got all kinds of Serrarium stone here. It's really commonly used in professional aquascaping. It's a beautiful stone out of Japan, I believe.
And you know what's funny, guys? Just FYI, when he says aquascaping is what?
It's an art form. It's basically setting up aquariums for aesthetic purposes. So Takashi Yamano, if you want to look him up, he's pretty much the father of modern day aquascaping.
Very cool. And we are at Aquascape, which is of course Greg's pond company.
And then this is probably the most important component of the entire build, the substrate. And if you see how it's like fluffy, no matter how wet it gets, it's gonna stay that way.
Really?
Yeah, and that's one of the easiest ways to have successful plant growth, is to make sure the root systems are intact.
So it looks like you've got some bark, you've got some sphagnum, you've got, and some just, charcoal. Okay, so the charcoal is gonna explain what this substrate does when involved in a bioactive. This will be a bioactive setup, right?
This is a blend that I developed over time. It's pretty much my take on an ABG mix. And what it consists of is cocoa fiber, so just like the, cocoa core sometimes it's called. Then we have cocoa husk, which is kind of like a bark sort of thing.
Yep.
Then we have orchid bark, two different kinds actually, and sphagnum moss and charcoal. So the way that it works is, no matter how wet it gets, as I was saying, it will retain this sort of springiness to it.
Gotcha.
And if you were to use something just like cocoa fiber or soil, really quickly in a closed environment like this, it's going to compact on the root system. Because a lot of the bioactive setup is you get the phytoremediation of the plants, filtering out all of the waste of the animals and that sort of thing. So the plants are just as important as the microfauna in cleaning up the setup.
All right, guys, so you remember, he's talking about all kinds of really cool, I like the term microfauna. It's similar to what we have going on, in my wetland filter back at home. It's, albeit not necessarily is this going to be, will these be aquatic plants, or these are going to be more plants that are bog-like?
Yeah, more bog-like. Over time, the plant's roots will grow down into the water, so it will help filter the water.
All right, very cool.
And then we got all kinds of different woods here. This is a new one that they're bringing to the States. It's called dragon wood. As far as I know, very few people are using it. Luckily, I got my hands on it. Make it look like vines. All my stuff peeled apart. And then
big pieces of driftwood.
I can't remember what this was, but I got some nice pieces so we can get a cool basking area, nice
arboreal hangouts and stuff.
Yeah, because that's.
So, this is going to be really fun. I'm learning so much here. And what's neat is the end result is going to be a very cool habitat for these Chinese water dragons. What do you say we go? I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah,
Why don't you take me over, man? Check out the Chinese water dragons.
And so initially, I didn't know
Plants,
that's actually
too.
what we were going to stock it with. At first, I was given creative freedom for that, but things changed. It's fine. And I honestly didn't really know that much about Chinese water dragons. So when I got here, I was scrambling to do research about them and all that sort of thing. So it honestly, it doesn't take long to just put in a little bit of research, figure out what you're doing. If you just have the general idea and blueprint of how to set up this type of enclosure, and then you do a little bit of research on the animal, you'll be fine. You just gotta build it around them and you'll be good to go.
That's really cool, man, and that's one of the things that I know people appreciate is when you're setting something up. I can't stress enough, man, it's for these animals, and it's really, I don't know, you said it perfectly, man, just to spend about a half an hour,
Yeah, not even that long.
you know, to figure out how these animals, you know, what habitat they need,
Yeah.
what their diet consists of. So we're talking about an animal that lives around water. Chinese water dragons are, to my knowledge, I'm not 100% sure. Oh my God, they're beautiful. Yeah, I've seen Australian water dragons. I've been in the wild in Australia, and I've seen their cousins from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
They live in and near bodies of water, streams, lakes, places like that, where they'll jump off the branches and just take to the water as a way to protect themselves, similar to green iguanas in Central America. The other thing about these lizards that you really should understand when you get one is they are arboreal, but they are prone to what's called nose rub.
Yeah.
And so you want the way to combat nose rub is to, you know, tend to build higher. Because these animals are very skittish. As I said, they'll avoid predators by jumping off into the water. And of course, in an aquarium or terrarium situation, they don't understand the glass so much. So it's important to create, like we have a backing here, maybe some barrier here, just things to break up this terrarium so they don't go running head first into it, which is what the plants are going to do, right?
And no slight on Greg or them, because this was just temporary.
Of course, no, of course.
And well, the only reason I say that is because this is not a totally ideal setup, and when we redo it, it will be kind of how they are. And I have an American bullfrog. My subscribers will be familiar with that, and they're a very skittish animal. Like, I don't think they're a good captive animal, but if you set it up right, they're not going to be all skittish like you're saying. So I think we'll be good with these guys.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. I can't wait to see the finished product. All right, guys, we're going to stop yapping. I'm going to let him get to work, and we're going to show you how he goes through the whole process.
Yeah.
All right, so it's been a little while since I was into Greg's conference room to see what is going on with Serpa, good old Tanner. And I want to kind of, oh my God, this guy is insane. This is incredible. Dude, you're nuts. Yeah. How many hours has it been? It's been like only 4 or 5 hours, man. You are insane.
Well, I've been working on this since Tuesday.
Oh
Got here at 2 o'clock. I've been going every day since.
This is insane.
Because here's the thing. I'm doing this for Greg. Everybody's always going to see it, and no matter what project I do, I always give 1,000%.
You certainly do, man. So these are all the plants that you sourced out from different nurseries around town?
Yeah. I brought some myself too, but most of them myself.
Like this leaf litter you're using, you collected that?
No, I got this from Kenan Aquatics out of Texas, I believe.
Okay.
And they source, like, they responsibly source all their stuff. And this is, for me, I used to hate the look of it, but it's just, I don't know, it's just the most natural thing. It provides so many benefits, and the microfauna are gonna eat these, right? And once they break it down, it turns into grade A nutrients for the plants. So you're not fertilizing this setup or anything like that. You're looking at the little hideout area for them right now.
Really cool, man. So this is going to be for some Chinese water dragons that, of course, we showed you. I would say this is just a really nice habitat, man. I mean, gosh, look at this. every nook and cranny. So, you know, what you're doing, the mulch becomes fertilizer, essentially.
Yeah, and then when leaves on the plants die, you can chop them off and add it to this leaf litter. And
at any point, do you have to like clean this in any way?
Nope.
No.
Maybe you might benefit from like a water change or something like that, but honestly, you probably don't need to. Half of my tanks, I pretty much quit doing water changes because it just like doesn't need it.
Very cool, man. All right, well, we're gonna pick up here in a little bit when we add in the animals. No way, dude. I can't believe you got this done in the amount of time that you got it done in Tanner. This is just fantastic.
Make it happen. I take my work seriously.
Yeah, you definitely do. And so we've got the water dragons here. He's got the male. I don't know what's his name? Do we even know? Look at me, chills out. Look at that.
I have no idea what his history is. Last night I went to, feel him out, see what his personality was like, and I was having a good 10-minute moment with him, just petting him and stuff. He was real cool with it, even on his throat.
Yeah, that's so awesome, man. They're really cool lizards. These and the Australian water dragons, they're pretty much animals that live in riparian kind of habitats, so habitats near water. That's why they get their common name, water dragon. And so, explain to me some of the features of what you put into this environment. It's beautiful.
Okay, so this is a fully bioactive paludarium, live planted, of course. I tried to choose hardy ones that could take a beating from these animals. Now, they're not going to intentionally ruin the plants, but if somebody scares them or something like that, they might jump and land on a plant, but the majority of these should stand up to them. We've got all the botanicals. These are all leaves and seed pods and things that you would find in nature, not necessarily.
And all these have a function, right?
Yeah, they do. These aren't going to grow anything, but what I have stocked this enclosure with is springtails and isopods, and the leaf litter will act as coverage for them, but they'll also feed on this leaf litter, and they'll break down the leaves. It will turn into fertilizer for the plants, and that will get them jump started to where they can get to the point to start eating the animal's waste as well.
Very cool.
Long term, it will just create a whole fully functioning ecosystem that they're not going to have to change the substrate or anything like that. So it's way different than a traditional sort of reptile enclosure.
All right, let's talk a little bit about this pool here. We saw how you use the aqua blocks to create a false bottom, so you can actually have dry land areas for the plants to root in, but this is really neat. Now, the other thing that I noticed you did here is you've got some fans for a mechanical air movement, man. So, and that's basically what I just said, just to get some kind of airflow.
Yeah, so in a setup like this where water dragons, they like that 80% humidity, somewhere around there, you don't want to bring air from the outside into the tank because it will cool it down and it will reduce the humidity. So in this instance, we're passively circulating the air. So it's not going to get stagnant, but it will retain the humidity, which is ideal for this sort of animal. Perfect, man. So,
these are a high humidity rainforest type animal. They live in Southeast Asia, southern part of China. And of course, I did mention they do have a different species that lives in Australia. But I mean, this is just gorgeous. I'll tell you what, why don't we go ahead and start adding the critters to the enclosure. And I'm going to go first because we're going to put this gal right in here. We'll put these two ladies in their new home. Okay, they're gonna, of course, get active. Oh, don't get mad. Oh, that's so rad. Look at this. That is so rad. Look at her. She's so tough, man. You're tough. Well, we're gonna put the big boy in here. This is how I love seeing animals. I love seeing reptiles kept in these kind of enclosures. So,
and check it out. Look at this one.
Yeah.
No acclimation. She already looks like she's all right with it.
Oh, well, of course, we've got the UVB lighting going. They're going to add to this basking lights over this section.
Yeah.
Just this is what you pretty much decided to do. That's what's going to be the basking area. And just look at how beautiful they blend in. Here we go.
He's getting
feisty. Go for it, bro. Well, what are you doing, man? We're giving you the greenery. Go for it, brother. Oh, she's already in the water. That's so rad.
You're cool, dude.
All right. Look at this. She's eating. She's already eating.
Where'd she find it?
She just got a mealworm.
Where'd she even
That's so rad. No acclimation needed, man. Oh my God. She just ate. Are you kidding me? Holy smokes! There must have been a mealworm in the bark of the driftwood.
The thing is, I added them because they're a good detritivore because they'll turn into the darkling beetles. And usually they won't eat the dark-limbed beetles because they give off that stink.
So wait a minute, you said a detritivore? They eat detritus? Is that what you're talking about? Is that where it comes from?
Like break down organic waste.
That's a new word I learned today, detritivore. So they're eating the, I guess, the bio waste from everything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
No way! Look at this, guys! Oh my God, Greg is going to be so stoked with your work. I just love the fact that these animals are already doing what they're supposed to be doing. This is, of course, what they do in nature. They'd be hiding out on branches that are hanging out over water for security. Much like common green iguanas, they'll climb these trees. When threatened, they jump into the water. Very fast in the wild. These guys, of course, are acclimated to human beings, but just a beautiful, beautiful species of lizard. And I am blown away by what you're able to do. And I can tell you that this is just the first, I would hope that this is the beginning of a friendship between us. I really would love to get him down to Kamp Kenan to help me out, creating some things for the animals. How about this? Look at this Looney Tune. She's in the water. Let me get you all straight away. Look at her. I mean, that is amazing. You really do incredible work, and you truly are an artist, man. So
thank you.
No, thank you, man. Thanks for sharing it on your channel. And if you guys don't know about Serpa Designs, you got to check out his YouTube channel. We'll have a link in the description. Do you do any other social media?
Instagram.
Cool. What's your Instagram name?
Just Serpa Design.
Very good, man. I'm really excited. It was great meeting you, man. We had a lot of fun talking. We talked about a lot of different things, and to me, that's the coolest part. You know, that you meet somebody and you might think you're from different parts of the world, but you have a common interest. So I hope you guys are inspired. Check out his channel. He did an amazing job for Greg, and these guys are already moving into the perfect spot for them. All right, everyone, thanks so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Head on over to patreon.com/Kamp Kenan if you'd like to help support the channel, and hit that notifications button as well so you are kept up to date on all these awesome animals. We'll see you soon.